All right, party people, so we are finally getting the Civic Type R kind of retuned. We're doing another street tune on it today from the guys at Redstar Motoring. If you're not following any of the Civic Type R content on Instagram or Facebook, they are absolutely killing it. They have already built the world's fastest Civic Type R, doing like a 10.2, I think, in a quarter mile, something like that. That's with a built motor. And then they also have one on a factory clutch, factory internals on the engine, doing about a 10.7. So they really know what they're doing, when they're building their cars and tuning them. It's funny because I've had a conversation with the tuner there and I'm like, why does everybody blow their motors? Because there's quite a few guys that are on their third engine for this car. And he said, it's because they're using anti-lag, trying to show off, and they end up blowing their motors. Or they're having their friends tune it that really don't know how to tune these cars because you got to get the torque curves just right. Fastest 0 to 60 time I've ever got on this car, I believe, is a 5.31. And that was like a year ago. But since then, we've had the Hondata Fuel System installed, which if you don't know, you will not get above 400 wheel horsepower without the Hondata Fuel System. Also, we got the PRL Flex Fuel on here and we're having it tuned. I think I'm gonna be at about E35. Only reason I'm not higher, it's hard for me to get E85 around here, and that's what I have in the car right now is E35. So I've had it on a base map for the flex fuel, and now we're gonna get it custom tuned to see if we can't get the 0 to 60 time any faster. Prior to this, after the fuel system, I did another 0 to 60 test and my 0 to 60 was sucking. I was just spinning tires like crazy. And I have a feeling that after we get it tuned, it's gonna be faster than it was without the tune. But I think I'm gonna need to get some new tires. Right now I have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on there, and they are 265/35/18s, 9.5 inches wide, I think. I think we're gonna need to get some Toyo R888Rs for this car because the last time I tried it, they just weren't hooking the way I needed them to. So the R888Rs, from what I understand, I know that some of the guys that built the old SRT4s had a lot of great luck with them, like they could launch it and not spin the tires. And I know a lot of the guys that drive supercars or high-powered rear-wheel drive cars have really good luck with R888Rs. I'm probably gonna have to get a set for the Civic as well as the Camaro because traction seems to be an issue unless you have all-wheel drive. So I'm gonna get it tuned and then we're gonna go check out the 0 to 60 times and see what we get. For those of you that are new to the channel, this car is full bolt-on. I do have a catted downpipe instead of a catless. I also added the flex fuel kit and the Hondata fuel system because the biggest limiting factor on this car was the fuel system. So I'm tuned now on E35-ish, something like that. I think we got 32% ethanol in here right now. I have been tweaking the traction control a little bit because it spins a lot. So we're gonna start it up, see what kind of 0 to 60 times we can get. But I came out to the same road that I always come out to test cars. And that way, the road surface won't be a variable in it. So let's get going. Before we get going too far, I'm gonna pull up my Hondata app. If you get the Hondata FlashPro, you have to hack your head unit and you can download this app. It'll give you your engine temp, your air fuel, your IATs before and after the intercooler. I also have the ethanol reading here. All right, the outside temperature is about 69 degrees. We're a little bit over the ambient temperature on our IATs just because I was sitting in the car for a bit. And one thing we are gonna do is we're gonna completely disable traction control by pressing and holding the button. You also gotta be in R mode for this to work. And you'll see that that comes up on the dash. And then I just hit this I button to make that disappear. Right now, traction control for Hondata is enabled. And the way that you enable it and disable it is with the cruise control button. So when cruise control's on, there's no Hondata traction control. With it off, there is. I'm not that good at launching this car. I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. I'm not the fastest shifter. we get on that? We got a 0 to 60 of 5.67 seconds. Not too bad, given that that's my first launch, you know, with this new setup that I have. So we're gonna try it again. We're gonna do about a 1800 RPM launch. Let's see what that came out to be. That said 5.74. We're gonna try it without Hondata traction control next. Let me get past these houses. I don't wanna be running my car in front of their house. Right, so I'm gonna turn Hondata traction control off. I'm sure it's gonna spin a lot, but I guess we'll find out. Let me make sure my little guy is ready here. That had to register. Dang, 5.91. I'm not doing good at all, guys. I really think what this car is gonna need is better tires. So I got the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on here, and you know, prior to getting this tune and you know the E85 and flex fuel, I had a 0 to 60 time of like, you know, 5.4 seconds. So it's kind of fascinating, to be honest. I'm gonna try it again, see what we get. This is with no traction control at all too, so. I think what's really costing me time is it's really hard to get to 60 miles an hour until you shift into third. Yeah, like that was 6 seconds. We're gonna try a different road, guys. I'm not saying that a different road will be better, but what I am saying is I can hear a lot of rocks on this road, and that's just the nature of back roads. They usually get a lot of rocks. The reason I want to try this road is this road's traveled more often, and there's probably less rocks on it. To be faster. 5.52, that was faster. Good. I'm glad I found a section of road where I can actually test this. All right, we'll do another one then. So traction control seems to really be doing its job, so that's a good thing. That was a 5.76. Not quite what I was looking for, but definitely better than those 5.9s in 6 seconds. All right, so we didn't quite get any faster than our old 0 to 60 time. Like I mentioned, our previous fastest was a 5.32. And then I believe the second fastest previous from about a year ago was a 5.41. Our fastest was a 5.52 today, followed by a 5.74. Now, I think there was a couple of things affecting this. Number one, I've been getting that second gear grind. You know, I just hit 6,000 miles on the car, and I didn't have it that much, you know, before, but it started doing it. And we're gonna be doing some stuff to alleviate that. You know, I've done a lot of things. I've done the Acuity drop-in shifter. I've done the Acuity bushings. So I'll put a link down below if you wanna check those out. In the next video, we're actually gonna swap out this transmission fluid. Peppo from Redstar Motoring told me what transmission fluid that he uses on his track cars. I'll put a link down in the description for it. He uses Motul Multi ATF. And I texted him back and I was like, ATF? Don't you mean MTF? He goes, no, ATF. And so I'll put a link in the description where you can pick some up if you want to check it out. In the next video, we're going to change it. I'm also going to do a clutch adjustment, which I'll show you how to do. And we're going to retest this because I think the limiting factor was I was scared of grinding my gears. And so I just wasn't shifting as quick as I typically do. But here's the thing, regardless of what the 0 to 60 time says, this car is a lot faster than it was before I did the flex fuel and the Hondata fuel system. It just doesn't reflect in the 0 to 60 because we're spinning, and number two, because I'm kind of afraid to shift really quickly. I'll put it like this. My Camaro Z01, its 0 to 60 time right now is about 4 to 4.2 seconds. I took my mom for a ride in both cars. My mom gets more scared in the Type R than she does in the Camaro because of the way the boost comes on. She's like, oh wow, it took my stomach away from me for a bit. And I was like, yeah, this is crazy, huh? Kind of, the Civic feels faster in some respects, and then the ZL1 feels faster in other respects. I mean, it could just be, you know, because you feel it, and I think the ZL1 hides the power very well. But anyways, guys, we will be changing out this fluid, and then we'll do another 0 to 60 test in the next video. Let me know what your thoughts are, but until next time, guys, I love you, and you guys stay sexy.